Alrighty, happy Friday to you all. We made it through almost another week of our fun adventure in distance digital learning. So today we're going to be, we're almost done with our project concept proposal, all the components of it. Today we're going to talk about a task breakdown schedule and also costs. On Monday we'll work on a timeline and who's responsible for what. These four components are the last parts that we're going to be creating, and then you'll take many of those parts and actually create a professional proposal for the client who is asking for this video game. But we'll talk more about that next week. Alright, so for today, what we're going to do is create what's called a work breakdown structure. And this is one example of that. I found this online, and this shows a work breakdown structure for building a house. So of the 100% of work it takes to build a house, it's broken down into three categories: foundation, exterior, and interior. As you can see, the foundation takes about 25% of the overall work, exterior takes about 30%, and the interior almost half, at 45% of the work. And you can see it's broken down even further. So on foundation work, there's excavation, there's framework, and there's concrete. So excavation of this 25% takes about almost half, 12% of that. The framework takes about 6%, concrete about 7%. And it's even broken down even further. So what this does is this takes 100% of the work to do something. In your case, it's making your video game. So include 100% of the work necessary to complete your goal. So your chart will say video game, work 100%. Let's see, don't account for any amount of work twice. As you can see, everything here is unique. They're not repeating anything, any of the responsibilities, because it's broken down based on these three categories, and then subcategory it out. Focus on outcomes, not actions. What that means is the outcome is the excavation, the outcome is the framing, the outcome is the pouring the concrete. A work package should take no less than 8 hours and no more than 8 hours of effort. These boxes are work packages. So to dig the foundation is going to take anywhere between 8 and 80 hours. Don't worry about this point so much, but I wanted to point it out that is part of a normal work breakdown structure. Include about 3 levels of detail. So this one does have 3 levels: the foundation, the exterior, the interior. You're going to do the same thing with your structure. You're going to have your video game. So maybe one part will be coding the game. This part will be designing the game. This part will be maybe advertising and promotion of the game. So just 3 examples of how you can break down your overall project. Assign each work package to a specific team or individual. Again, don't worry about that so much, as long as I can see how you're actually breaking down the work structure. The other part is determining who's available to work on your project, if any costs that are involved in completing the project. So there's going to be a rough estimate of cost for you to complete this. Again, we're using creative liberties here, but if you did have your own company and you did have people working, what would that cost you? So here is the assignment. These are the 2 parts: the work breakdown schedule and estimating activity resources. So with the work breakdown schedule, again, I recommend using draw.io to create the breakdown flowchart. Again, here's the example. Whenever I give examples like this, definitely take advantage of that, because this will kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking for. Include at least 3 levels that add up to 100% of detail. So as you can see here, these are the 3 levels here: foundation, exterior, interior. 45 plus 30 plus 25 equal 100% of the work. And as my reminder, every time we use draw.io, export your image as a JPEG. Do not use save as. And you're going to attach that chart to a Google Doc. Also in the same Google Doc, you're going to give me a cost breakdown, and I want at least these 4 categories. Your labor cost, staffing, who's on your staff, who's working on this project for you. A materials cost, any cost in software and hardware. any advertising or promotional cost, then anything else miscellaneous that you might want to add in there. So just give me a cost breakdown. What we'll do is we'll make this per month, like what it's going to cost per month. So I'm going to add that here, per month. So I want a 1 month budget of what that's going to cost you. Okay. Submit both parts, the flowchart and this monthly staffing cost breakdown, on one Google Doc, Unified Classroom. It's due by midnight Friday. Then on Monday, we'll finish this off and do these last 2 parts, the timeline and the responsibilities. So again, as always, any questions, please let me know. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message. And if I don't talk to you, have a great weekend.